Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people. Should we say something so they don't think that it's last week's? This is the new episode.
Oh, I brought a new shirt. Should I change my shirt?
Yeah, change your shirt. I, on the other hand, just wear the same thing every day. Which I've been considering, actually. Ooh, this does already fit into morning routine. I've been thinking about,
Steve Jobs in it?
Yeah. That's the example I use, but there's another example, Andrew WK, where he's known for wearing that all-white getup. And I used to be compared to him a lot because I was a partying musician.
I was like, yeah, you guys look spitting image.
Yeah, same thing. But he had his thing was party all the time or whatever, and I was touring the country playing a drinking game live. So I felt too close to him, and I didn't want to just do
everything that he does.
That same thing I kind of do. He's great. He seems like a genius. Anyway, I also don't want to do just black, and I can't do white because that's what he did. It was like a dirty white.
Oh.
And black is just too LA. And neon is too much committing to, well, now you're in this pink shirt for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I do like neon. So now I guess I'll just wear this. Red carpet.
Black and neon.
Funerals, weddings. Kids' graduation.
I suppose you could commit to something as stupid as not wearing sleeves all the time.
Ew. No, because then people will, even on your friends' pictures of you, comment, but he has sleeves anytime that you wear sleeves.
Happened last night.
Really? I'm sure it's really fun for you.
We got dinner and the kid who was serving us was like, hey, were you on YouTube? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, no sleeves, right? No sleeves? And I was like, yeah. And then Brittany was like, yeah, but he's wearing sleeves. What a poser. And I was like, thanks, everyone. I guess I'll just go eat in silence in the corner.
Wow, getting recognized even with your sleeves on. That's great.
And a mask. Did not see that coming. Usually with the mask.
Yeah, but your face is all coming out the mask from the bottom.
That's true.
So it's a little different. You have so much face area.
That's why my look, like, I always felt like I fell into that weird category of, like, it's not like, oh, is that Max? It's like, that's Max.
And then other people are Maxes sometimes,
yeah,
too.
Other people are Max, but, like, that's definitely Max. Like, I heard about, like, like, Shaq walks into a room anywhere in the world, and you're like, oh, that guy kind of looks like Shaq? No. Oh, that's Shaq.
Yeah, of course.
He's 7 feet tall.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Remarkable person.
That's who that is.
A cartoon character. They always say, good character design, you make a silhouette, and you can tell what the character is just all black on white.
Right.
And so that's Shaq as a human.
His silhouette.
Yeah, you can just tell.
Yeah, that's
and I've had people get in my DMs saying, I wasn't sure if it was you at the airport, but then the person's shoes didn't match, so I knew it was you.
Well, I like that.
That's my giveaway. Yeah.
I usually get just a tweeted picture of me, the back of me walking.
Probably eating a hot dog.
Just like facing some clam chowder, and they're like, hey, was that you in the airport destroying a huge bowl of clam chowder? And I'm like, no. What? Shout out Legal Seafoods, best clam chowder in Boston.
Link in the description. Well, I also get people, if there's lighting is different in a photo on Instagram. To be clear, I've not matched my shoes in a long time.
It's true.
Years, since college.
It's embarrassing.
Honestly, it is. It's stupid.
So what do you do? Do you have like a red-blue pair and then a red-blue pair? And then
There's been a couple of occasions where I painted the shoes. Like, my lifters were expensive, and so I got shoe paint for leather.
No, I mean, like, do you wear, like, left foot red, right foot blue, and then you
usually put white on the right, so that sort of helps me out to remember, because I do not know left from right. Anyway, I will wear out a pair, and then once they're completely destroyed, color me a pair, which is a remarkable thing to see.
Yeah,
you never realize
really nice.
how pristine and lovely they are, or how bad they've gotten until you can see them next to each other. It's really interesting.
I do that with socks. I just gave up one day and bought black ankle socks, and now none of them match, and one of them have a hole in it, and I'll just throw it in the trash and walk around for the rest of the day with one sock. And then eventually, next laundry cycle, I don't even match them. I'm just like, 2 socks. 2 socks. 2 socks, you know.
Do you ball them?
Oh yeah.
They stretches them out. That's why you have holes. Don't ball them.
Don't ball my socks.
It stretches out the elastic. Now they're gonna degrade faster. Stack them.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have a pretty good system, guy.
Fine, I approve of your extra time. So that you spend the time to ball them and unball them every morning. Add that up, and you should be doing push-ups instead.
Right. How many push-ups could I do at that time? 5.
And that's the number of inches added to your chest over a year.
Yeah.
Get out. Inefficient. I've talked about this too, where I stopped shutting my cabinets because I was saving 3 seconds every time. At least 3 seconds a day.
What you should have done was
Adds up.
spend an hour and unscrewed all your cabinet doors and just thrown them in the trash.
Smart. I know. I'd live.
Or stop using cups, just use your hands.
Smart.
Boom.
That's smart.
No more forks, just your fingers. You know what I mean? God, you gotta
efficient.
Think bigger. You know? Think bigger. Why don't you just set up like
put
a
all your
feeding?
food in a blender so you can just chug it while you're running.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know those they like feed people through the nose
Feeding
tubes
tube, yeah.
as like a torture device. Just get one of those. Boom, every morning.
Still on my computer.
Bam, and it's going.
That is actually my morning routine. It's funny.
That's horrifying. It's a form of torture, though, isn't it?
No, that's just to feed you
it's...
if you can't chew or whatever.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's horribly painful.
Oh no.
Because I think what they did was when prisoners went on hunger strikes, they would like strap them to a chair, shove a tube up their nose, and be like, "Do you want vanilla or chocolate?" And then they would painfully, horribly, torturously feed them through their nose tubes.
Huh.
Pretty sure there was a...
Anyway, I would save time, so I'm in.
Yeah. Efficiency. That's it. Is that what you set your morning routine up? This video is about morning routines. This podcast.
Yes. Which we see this a lot on YouTube. Everyone talks about their morning routine. Or high performance people love talking about their morning routine. Mm-hmm. So, as a high performance
more guys or girls? I find that I see like the peak male morning routine video suggested to me. I think that's probably because it's
I see chicks too. So.
But
can we say chicks anymore?
I don't know.
Huh.
Should we call the chick hotline and be like, "Hey,
there's a chick hotline"? Man.
It's a server. At this point, they've gone Discord digital now. I feel like I see a lot of like dudes, fashion dudes, and efficiency dudes.
Yeah, like the Tim Ferriss type.
Dudes.
But that's what I'm into and watching.
But I find that it's way more dude than chick. At least on YouTube.
The creators and the things that the dudes are doing are what I would call traditionally feminine.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm going to write my feelings and then sit and think and go for a walk with my loves and...
Be sitting down. Traditionally feminine, but open for everyone.
Yeah, because it makes you high performing, right? It's not, you have to clean your toilet as much or something. I don't know.
Sure. One more squat. It's an
One
extra
more squat.
Oh my god.
Efficiency. You heard it here, gentlemen. You should be peeing sitting down if you want to be a high performing dude.
Say you pee minimum 4 times a day.
That's
3 times a day.
4 more squats.
Squats a day.
Times 365. It's hard for me to do.
700, 1400, 1500 squats a day. I mean a year, right?
Yeah, 1460. That's pretty good. I'm impressed.
That's a lot of air squats.
Yeah. Yeah. How much?
Now, how do you progressive overload that?
That's only 2 burpee miles though. If we're talking about the number of times that we did, number of burpees we did.
That's true. That burpee mile was brutal though. My God, that was probably one of the hardest things you've done on the channel, right? Or I've done on your channel.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, check out the burpee mile. I had to do 200 more than you because I'm short.
No.
I'd do it again.
Just get taller.
Would you? Shut up. Just take steroids.
Manifest. Manifest some HGH.
HGH. Oh yeah, okay. We talked about this with Dr. Marconi. It doesn't make you gain muscle. It's just
it makes you grow.
Yeah, makes you grow. That's right. Whatever. So, anyway, would you do the burpee mile On the sand, if it was open again? It sounds so much worse.
I don't know. It was pretty brutal. And
you took it like a champ.
when, yeah.
The next day?
What do you mean?
How were you the next day?
Not too terrible.
Really?
Not too terrible. Not like a heavy squat day the next day, or a heavy deadlift day the next day. Which is funny because we did 1,500 burpees or whatever, 800 burpees,
800,
whatever
yeah.
it was. But the next day, like the day after a heavy PR deadlift day, you know, you're waddling. I'm waddling around.
Squats should be more than deadlifts.
Yeah, either.
Yeah. Yeah, or like you don't want to sit on the toilet because your hamstrings
stuck.
hurt. Yeah, that's true too.
Just
The actual contact of hamstring on toilet seat is what gets me.
What, like
Not just getting down, but the actual it touching.
Oh.
Pushing on those muscles, then soreness.
Oh, like pushing. So you wouldn't get like a massage. You wouldn't like Theragun your.
I've tried. I've tested a lot on this channel. I have come to the conclusion that I am unrecoverable.
Ungunnable.
Ungunnable.
I always think that I don't like massages, and Brittany gets like confused, I guess, at me because she loves massages, and I think a lot of people love massages. But in my brain, I don't. It's not that I don't like them. It's not that I don't think they're. Oh, it's the massage place. Sorry, massages are great. I love spas and self-care. I'm sorry, massage therapists. That's a really tough job. I don't know. It takes an extra degree. Anyway,
he has to riff on this improv until the sound stops. Okay, we got it. We made it. Good job. Way to fill time.
But I think it's because I've said this before. I connect massages to sports massage, where they're just elbowing the back here. And I think that I maybe that'll be a good New Year's resolution that I never came up with.
The self-care.
Get more massages.
You know, you're 6 months in, sir.
I know, I'm way behind.
You need several a week.
2 a day at least, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I always, if they feel good, if they're a spa massage, I feel like it's worthless. And when they do hurt, I think that didn't do anything. I got to keep doing it like it's exercise.
Yeah.
It's not till the 3rd month of getting consistent massages do you see progress. I've just given up.
I'm not sure if that's true.
I don't know if that's true.
I think if they're doing it right and they're releasing lactic acid pools or gaps or puddles or whatever it is. Puddles. I don't know.
The puddles in your body.
I know that when I've gotten sports ones, it hurts and it hurts worse after, but I'm able to go back to practice faster. So
yeah,
I think there is.
I don't know if Nathan Lazinski said it on our podcast or in just to me whenever I went to him. But he said he's making very targeted damage to your muscles. Yeah. But it's actual damage. You don't think about it like that, but it is.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's working.
All right, so you wake up, you get a massage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So morning routine.
Morning routine. What do you do?
Well, first I journal. Then I pee sitting down. No. What do I do?
Which, by the way, I was trying to be funny there. Men, journal away. Women, don't journal and don't feel any less feminine about it. It's fine. Or any gender you choose, journal or don't.
Yeah. Or use a pen. Or type on your keyboard. Or, that's one thing. Okay. We should talk about journaling, but let's wake up first.
Okay, I'll do mine really quickly because it's stupid. Get up, and I look at...
Whoa.
No, wake up, as in my eyes open.
Your eyes are open.
Actually, this is probably going to be longer than I'm thinking now. There's too many details.
How did your eyes open?
You want to go first?
Well, I think we should... I guess I'll try, but it's weird. So I wake up because my 8 sleep mattress vibrates me awake.
Same.
Which is cool.
Do you set it to the same time every morning?
Weekdays, yeah.
And then you have weekend sleep in?
Yeah.
What do you have, a 9-to-5 job?
Well, I guess I should say if I'm doing something that night, I turn it off for the next morning.
You just don't have an alarm?
I don't have an alarm. I haven't had an alarm in years. If I have something I have to do, sure. I don't
Wow.
I don't have a mental alarm.
I can't remember ever having woken up to no alarm.
Really?
So that's pre-high school.
Whoa.
Every single day.
Do you wake up at the same time?
No.
Yeah. I think I generally, without without like going out and getting hammered, or without like partying or going to traveling or
only
anything
on
like
Mondays.
that. If I had sort of nothing, I'd wake up, like before we had the 8 sleep mattress, I would wake up around 9 o'clock within 15 minutes all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't have an alarm unless I have to get up for something, but I will sort of wake up around
You're
the
already
same
trumping
time.
me. Look at you, you're a high-performing dude.
Oh, okay, so you wake up. Let's back up a step. How lucid did you dream?
Super lucid. And also, if it's not lucid, it's still vivid.
Uh-huh.
Felt like I lived my whole night just a stress dream, too. Last night I was trapped in a maze, couldn't get out, couldn't figure out where I was going, and I was late to a recording studio, and I had to get out of the maze to get to that recording session, which I didn't make it in time.
Gross!
Yeah.
That sounds so stressful.
Yeah, then I wake up and live a stressful life, and then go to sleep and dream stress.
Yikes.
Yeah, and you've talked about this, those kind of dreams where it's just like, oh man, we gotta get to this thing, or I gotta change my outfit, and the pants keep ripping, and then I gotta figure out another thing to wear.
Yeah, or
and it's just you're trying to get to something.
You're just running.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Wow.
So I wake up and I grab my phone
You
and
do.
I write down what I dreamt about.
So good. Does it help you get lucid?
It helps me get lucid dreams, but it's also like a lot of times they're really funny. And so I'm like, damn,
Debatable.
wow, I could use that in a video.
Oh, really?
Or like it's
You dream comedy?
That's a funny joke, or like there's something silly about that. I bet
Interesting.
I could write that down and use it somewhere later. I do also.
What? Yeah.
I also generally, I'm always in my notes. I'm like scribbling down on my phone.
Ideas.
Typing,
Yeah.
I guess scribbling with my thumbs on a keyboard.
Scribbling.
But I'm typing down ideas for videos, ideas for content, ideas for like a procedure of how to like streamline editing a video, or how to like send it to this guy, like what I have to do for that. So I write down notes a lot on my phone. I have obviously different categories or whatever. So I go to my dream notepad and then I type in my phone.
And how often are you looking back at it?
Whenever I sort of need it. Do you know what I mean? So dreams is not very frequent because I only need it if I'm thinking of, what was that thing that I was going to use for this video?
Yeah.
Not like, how can I lucid dream tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I want to go tonight? Nepal.
Oh.
So
I have no. It would just be an empty room. I just standing in Nepal.
Here we are.
White walls. I don't know what Nepal looks like.
There's
Wow, I made it.
curved swords and stuff.
So I found when I was dream journaling, like the woman that I am, I would, if I went back and read them, so when I write them down, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this is like
Brilliant.
really, really vivid, and write it down and I remember it. And I go back and read it maybe a few days, weeks later, be like, I don't remember any of this. This is nonsense. When did this happen? And I can't bring it back.
Oh,
it's weird. It feels like it's just lost.
I can feel it pretty clearly.
Yeah,
Maybe
it
I'm
comes
writing
back.
down the right like
Details,
keywords or
yeah.
details or whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
Interesting.
But I feel like I can get that feeling back pretty
Do
clearly.
you feel things in your dreams? Do you have physical sensation and do you dream in color? That's another common one.
I feel anxiety when I'm running all the time, of course.
Do you feel like your feet on the pavement and that kind of thing? Are you
No,
tired when you're
I
running?
don't think so. I don't think I feel anything.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know why my mind went here, but if it's like a sex dream, I wonder if I feel
Yeah.
aroused or,
Yeah.
or whatever.
So I have this one where I know that I feel because my teeth are like falling out, and so I can't see it, but I can feel it. So I know that I feel in my dreams.
That's a common one, you know.
Yeah. It's social anxiety.
Oh, really? I thought
Yeah.
it was control.
Both of those fit.
Sure.
Huh.
So we're awake.
Okay, so you wrote your dream.
I woke up. I wrote my dream.
Digitalized your dream.
In a perfect. So I'll give you like the perfect world, and then I'll give you lately what I've been doing, which
Yeah.
is trash. Perfect world. Put the phone right back down.
So were you ever the perfect world?
Yes, I have streaks for sure.
Okay.
And it's certainly with items on the checklist.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's with the whole thing. I find that like if I do the first one, then I'm like, oh, I want to keep the streak going. Like I want to do,
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll like skip this step or that step or whatever. So then in a perfect world, I put the phone right back down, and then I just sort of like, I don't know, stare at the ceiling or like not go back to sleep essentially. And then that usually lasts like a minute, and then I just get up. I scoot up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll push the dog off of my hip, and I'll push him over towards Brittany, so he'll cuddle her instead of me.
He doesn't wake you up?
He doesn't get up until like 11:30.
Oh, right. The cat is the one that bothers
Cat wakes me up in the middle of the night all the time. It drives me absolutely crazy. The cat like literally just jumps on my face, or scratches my chest really bad, or scratched my leg. I guess I healed, but so then I spin around and I get up and I just sort of grab some shorts and I go and brush my teeth. So then I'll stop at brushing my teeth.
That's it? Oh, or there's more to
I was waiting for you.
Oh, okay.
Or do you want me to go through my whole thing and then?
No, that's fine. That's fair. I think that trading off is good. So, okay, I wake up to my 8 sleep alarm, and I open up Whoop.
And I curse the gods.
Curse the gods. I tell Whoop that I am awake, and so it processes my night. I open Aura. It processes my night. I open.
You can't just like wave or tap or shake your hand or whatever.
I don't know. I think it'll do it automatically, but I'm impatient, so I want to see it then. I open. Oh, so I snooze my bed in case I fall asleep again.
Ooh.
Because that'll happen a lot too. And
I
then.
almost never fall back asleep unless I'm deciding to.
Oh yeah, but I decide.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, I'm going back to sleep now.
Forget it.
Okay, and then I open Athletic, which is basically a competitor to Whoop that works with your Apple Watch. The creator hit me up and said, you want to check it out? And I said, of course I'd like to strap another device on me at night. So I look at that one too, which has been interesting to compare. Shout out to them. Check out Athletic. If you have an Apple Watch and you don't want to get a Whoop, it does what Whoop does. Possibly better. It has good insights. Okay, so that's Whoop, Athletic, Aura, and then at that point, okay, I'm probably up. I look at Twitter, I look at Instagram.
Ooh.
This is all of the wrong things. Check email and text overnight.
I do that too in my in my bad morning.
Yeah. And then, if I'm sufficiently awake, I'll snooze my alarm and then look at my my 8 sleep insights too. So that's 4 different devices telling me how I slept. And looking at my emails.
Yeah. I look at my emails, and then I play chess on my phone, and then I look at Instagram, and then I look
You play
at
chess
again.
when you wake up?
I'll do a quick game, see how it goes. That was terrible. I must be too sleepy. I'll do another one. And then that's a rabbit hole of horrible ADD.
Yeah.
Awful.
Interesting. Yeah,
that's one of
terrible.
my worst bad habits, is immediately waking up and ADDing myself. Because then I can feel it the rest of the day.
I know, but it feels rewarding, you know? I want to get to work. And I'm checking Twitter not for entertainment, right? I'm checking to see how my engagement was overnight, what's performing, what am I going to post today. I generally don't just scroll my feed on Instagram. I'll again look at how my stuff is doing.
Yeah.
So it feels like I'm getting work done.
Right.
But supposedly I'm screwing my brain. And all of that, by the time I get to brush my teeth, it's 30 minutes. 30 minutes!
That's a long time.
Yeah. And then my 8 sleep says, you took too long to get out of bed. It's supposed to be 5.
I'm usually like 1 minute out of bed. Usually.
So on a bad day, okay.
On a good day, I open my eyes and I'm out of bed. On a bad day, I'm playing around on my phone and really just ADDing as bad as I can. I don't know if that's like a term. That's how I imagine it in my head.
Right, causing dopamine and whatever, the negative response too of responding to notifications. And I think it's Tim Ferriss that talks about this a lot. You're allowing the incoming to dictate your day instead of you outgoing deciding what your day is going to be, right? You're reactive versus proactive, perhaps. I think
definitive.
deciding what your day is going to be versus letting it come in and you react to whatever's there.
But sometimes I will get an email that is an emergency, and they're like, we thought we were done with this thing. We need to do this. We got to get it done by today. You know, we'll give you a ton of money if you get it done by today, essentially. And I'm like, okay.
With other humans, I don't.
That's that's what it is.
Mostly, I'm looking for that positive thing. That's incoming query or whatever. Here's a really big cool opportunity. That's what I'm looking for. That dopamine in my email.
There's nothing like that dopamine.
Never had. Yeah, that's great.
That's so sweet.
The future potential success email.
All
Love
right.
it.
So
Honestly, that ends my morning routine.
that's it. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, I pee. Yeah, before no, there's more.
Lunging?
Okay, fine, there's more. Lunging, and I lunge to my computer.
Okay, so I brushed my teeth.
Yeah, go.
Now I walk over to the kitchen and I feed the cat, and I feed. The cat is usually screaming at me at this point, so I feed the cat.
Screaming.
Then I
Cat
make
screams.
coffee. I'm not kidding. I will Instagram story it tomorrow
Yes,
morning
please.
for sure. I make coffee, which takes about 5 minutes. Or I do a French press. So I boil
Whoa.
water, I feed the cat, coffee in,
Do you
hot
do-
water.
Do you temperature before you put it in?
What do
Just
you
full
do?
boiling. Full boiling.
I do boiling and then I let it simmer
Should be
5
190.
seconds less than boiling. I like to, whatever. Then French press, you put hot water into the thing and you have to let it sit for 5 minutes, which is a really nice opportunity to do something for 5 minutes. So last year when I was meditating, I would meditate for 5 minutes
okay.
right then.
Oh, see, anchoring. No wonder you made the habit.
It was
You just anchored it to a habit you already had. That's cheating. You're such an efficient man.
It was literally the perfect, because it was 5 minutes, and then I was doing other stuff off of that, like I would sit on the floor and stretch my legs out while I was doing it. So
I can tell that you've been more flexible since
combo. I'm now even worse. It's disgusting. Now I'll try to meditate if I'm feeling like it, but I sort of gave it up, and now what I do is, I play with the cat for 5 minutes so that he will shut his stupid mouth and stop screaming at everyone.
That helps. That's what he wants, is
He
attention.
wants attention. Then I give him food, and then coffee's made. And now what I've been doing for the last few months is free writing for 5 minutes instead of my meditating.
Do you keep it or do you throw it out after?
I keep it,
Okay.
but I don't look back on it.
Okay.
But it's actually it's mutated a couple of times. At first, it was just straight up brain dump, which is you start typing and any word that pops in, usually it's a sentence, but it doesn't, not always.
Yeah, it's just a mess.
It's a mess. So you just type for 5 minutes straight. And it's in the beginning it's scattered, and then it sort of focuses, and then you sort of go down a mini thought hole, and then that's it.
Hole.
Lately,
What's a thought hole? On Instagram, think about that as the new thing, right? Meg Thee Stallion, make a song, thought hole.
write it down. Oh
good.
God, that's
A
perfect.
journal about it.
The other thing that I'll do is I have a book of writing prompts. So lately I've been doing
I've seen that.
if I don't want to do a brain dump, if I don't feel like I have any thoughts, or if I'm not too scared.
No thoughts today. Sorry, journal.
Brain's not even on yet. I have a book.
So you have been
that's
doing this? You
this
really
book is-
sticking to it.
I did it. I hit a little skid the last week or so because we were
Impressed.
just trying to find a new place or whatever. But and I have them by day. So I do a date and a title, and then I do whatever. And
You
so
start with a title?
if I have an idea, I'll start with the title.
What is this, a YouTube video?
Otherwise, I'll just do a blah 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 blah, and then I'll put it back in the title.
Yeah.
And sometimes the title is Brain Dump Monday, and sometimes the title is things I regret about 8th grade, or you know what I mean, really
so
weird
specific!
stuff. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes
Interesting.
it's the writing prompt.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the prompt is a man is
That seems
standing
way
on the
easier.
edge of a cliff. He says ... and then
Oh, okay.
So it's something
Not
that.
write 3 things you're grateful for today. It's
It's a
feels
book
different.
that I got at a dollar store years
Okay.
ago, and so some of them are like that. What is your mildest regret?
Mildest?
That's a funny one.
No, that's funny.
Or sometimes they're an elf lands in a castle in the Middle Ages. What happens? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's all over the place, but that's the
Interesting.
point of the prompts, I think, is that they're just sort of just trying to get you going.
All right, maybe
So I've
I'll
been doing
start.
that.
I'm getting convinced.
It's fun.
Journal. Is
Is
it?
Sometimes.
Seems
When
like
it's
a chore
good, it's fun.
sometimes. Yeah.
Did I send you that short story I wrote about seagulls?
No.
It's good.
Do send.
It's
not
and
a dream,
and
right?
It came from a writing prompt, for sure.
That's cool. You're a writer now? You gonna Start a Twitter?
it's the mildest creativity spark I could think of, and in fact, like it's sort of because I felt like sort of a snag with generally with like YouTube videos, and the videos that I'm making like for Facebook are so. It's not that they're not creative, but they're not like zany. They're not like off the wall. They're like so relatable. They're like, of course, my mom does that too.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like, well, I want to write about, unicorns and elves, exactly, or like something weird. And so I started doing stuff like that. And that's been really fun. Also, it also came out of I found a wireless keyboard that I really liked. I was like, and so that's like a little bit of a treat.
Does it help you throughout the day, do you think? Have you seen a difference?
If it's a brain dump, then yeah, it does help like me get all my morning storm of thoughts out. If it's a creative one, that's the thing, is like now it's turned into like, well, this sucks. Now I should do a 5-minute brain dump, then I should wait half an hour, then I should do a 5-minute creative one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, well,
2 hours.
That's 40
later.
minutes of stuff here. That's not really a concrete. I'm not like getting paid to write a screenplay or anything, so this doesn't like exactly translate. It's just sort of trying to keep me sharp.
Just trying to figure out the ROI on meditating. Ugh.
Right, exactly. So
sounds like I'm the type of person that should meditate.
Yeah. That's my new one.
Yeah.
And then depending on if I have that half hour, if I'm starting to get to work or not, I had a really good streak the last month or so of working out first thing in the morning, and that was really excellent. And I would do heavy weight stuff, like not. Yeah.
Were you taking pre-workout?
No.
That's the only reason to work out in the morning, is that you can take pre-workout.
Well, get this. I would take I wouldn't take anything. I would do my workout, and then afterwards I would have coffee.
That is stupid.
Isn't that
you are
insane?
a stupid person. No. Don't do that. This is
Insane.
bad fitness advice.
I know, but it worked. And frankly, like, I got my workouts in, and I never have that like, oh no, I was supposed to work out, but then this thing came up, and now I can't, or I have to push it, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my gym, fortunately, it was on my patio, so I didn't have any. Once it gets dark out, it's pretty hard, and I had a lot of spiders, so I didn't want to be working out in the dark.
I like Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man a lot. I just don't want,
You don't want all that power and responsibility.
Right. Too much. There's only one.
Okay, great.
Except for the Spider-Verse.
I realized that I do journal. Talking to you.
What do you do?
It's just a to-do list that I made. It's a running to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I have to do today.
Mm-hmm.
I have a list of what I did yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, really? You keep a list?
Yeah, I'm a new Evernote every day of... So you can name a day... If I never told you this, you can name a day between now and 2007. I'll tell you exactly what I did on that day in order.
In order? Blah. That's crazy. Apparently that's a super high level productivity thing.
Well, so when I'm finishing the day, I know what's coming tomorrow. The next morning, I saw what I did yesterday, and then I set up what's the next day, even. Yeah. And it's all in my calendar, too. So if it's months away, I don't have Evernotes waiting for me to get to those days. I only make the new Evernote for tomorrow on the day before.
Yeah.
And anything I don't get done in this day, it's a copy, paste into the next note. But that also allows me to not finish that stuff. Long-term goals are different than tasks, which this is just like stuff that I can get done in a day and check off.
So say you had an idea for a music video.
I have that, and I was working on it today, but it's a top header that is, I'm doing a cover of Bad Habits, and then below that, there's a Bad Habits chunk, and today I had to arrange, record vocals, edit vocals, and rehearse for the music video. Mm-hmm. Check all those off. Tomorrow, again, there's a Bad Habits thing, header, and with below that is shoot, music video, edit, whatever. So there isn't overarching projects, there isn't overarching final goals for things. It is just, what am I doing today? Great journal.
What about a music video that you haven't even started yet?
It'll just say Bad Habits. And like, if I want to break it down and say that, start with listening to the original or figuring out
They say that one of the biggest things you can do is keep a log of everything you've accomplished That's like a huge productivity one. And
Yeah.
a thing of your like they say that if you wake up and you start your to-do list first thing in the morning, you've already lost. You should do your to-do list the night before.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is like kind of true, kind of not.
If you're waking up and doing your to-do list, I think you're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think you're already doing a lot better than.
So there's this one thing that Tim Ferriss talked about, which it's on my to-do list to make one. I'm trying, and I haven't yet. And I finished his book quite a while ago. It's from Tools of the Titans, but I can't remember what he called Jar of Awesome. So every day, at the end of the day, you write down one good thing that happened that day, and if it's like really big thing, I got this promotion and raised, that's cool, or just a little thing like I saw a ladybug, you know.
Yeah.
So now this Jar of Awesome is full of all these things, and he said his girlfriend invented this and made him do it because he would never look back on what he'd accomplished. And he said that it really helps him. If he's ever feeling bad, she tells him to go look at the Jar of Awesome, pick something out. And you brought up accomplishments, like keeping track of that. I don't know. I'm so future focused. I never I don't even know why I keep all of my past days, except that I can say to you, ooh, I know where they are, but I never look at it.
Well, here's why you keep them. Because if you're ever accused of
whatever,
murder,
and I can be like, nope, because this Evernote hasn't been touched since whatever. Yeah.
I had a guy at my old job, and it's sort of hard to describe, but like we got into like a sort of a legal tiff, and the guy had a notebook, handwritten, and it was every call he had ever made, work related, and who it was, and what they talked about, and he had just kept that as like a journal of everything. And so we got into like a legal thing, and we went to court, and he was like, because a lot of times I'll use emails as like, this is, you knew about this then, or like you didn't, this was a thing.
Proof with the timestamp,
exactly.
yeah.
But with phone calls, it's really difficult to do that because you're not recording your phone calls. And this guy was like, yeah, this is what we talked about. I wrote it in my journal. And they were like, oh, okay, that counts. As like, yeah, we trust and believe that as like more of a framework of. And then I was like, wow, this guy's covering his tracks. Because what I used to do is I used to send follow-up emails that were just complete lies.
Glad that we talked about.
Hey, Allie, so glad we talked about this. You're gonna go ahead and pay the check, and I'll get you next time. And if you read that and it's wrong, you're like, oh, what a jerk. He like made that up, and then you call me back and we spit on the phone or whatever. The email, if you don't send an email back that's like, that's not what happened. This is what we talked about.
Jeez.
Then like in court, in theory, in trial, lawyers have told me that like if somebody sends you an email and it's like, this is what we had, this is what, and then it's a lie, you have to send one back that's like, that's not true.
Correcting them, yeah.
So I think...
Text too.
Text count?
I never delete my texts.
I delete my texts.
Are you out of phone space?
Yeah, I'm pretty tight. I'm on a couple of really bad group chats, and it's like dozens of videos a day. And I'm like, I hate it. My one friend sent...
Can you send me a Dropbox link?
There's one group chat that I'm like desperately trying to leave, but one of my friends has an Android, and so I can't leave the group chat.
You can't because and
it is an absolute nightmare.
Just type unsubscribe in all caps.
Bad. My one friend just started sending us pictures of his dick.
Oh, great.
And I'm like, I don't need to see this, Dave. Like, you're such a
called out
chump. Like, there's no reason for you to do this. And he's like, what? I think I look good. Like, I've been working out. I'm like, Dave, you know what, Dave? Just.
How many people are in this chat?
6.
And they're just putting up with this?
Well, none of us can leave because
this is a reason to get an Android.
It's a reason to not get in a group chat with somebody in it with an Android.
Well, yeah, but then I can group chat bomb people and they can't get out of it.
Yeah, you're Guantanamo of you're a prison. You're a terrorist of the group chat. Anyway, but I know that, like, for example, writing down what you accomplished helps you sort of, people who lose focus or lose motivation, like that helps them a lot. Mm-hmm. So you never look back on what you did. Or you sort of do, because like, what have I done? Okay, that's done. I need to do this. You don't look back on it like...
I don't even look at it. There's a check mark next to it. It's
blurred.
It's
what happens if you have a task and it doesn't get accomplished?
I copy it or cut it and paste it to the next day.
But do you ever think, like, I really wanted to do that. Why didn't I get that done? Or
yeah, of course, all the time. And if it's like a super important thing, there's the menial tasks where you have to get through your inbox or whatever. I'll put that there. But then bad habits is bolded because that's the main thing I need to accomplish that day. That's the project that I'm going through all the garbage stuff to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of helps me distinguish. But of course, all the time I'm like, why did I spend all the time in my inbox when I should have been doing the one project that matters?
Because I remember I got a book from Michael Hyatt, who did this whole productivity journaling business. And it sort of works, it sort of doesn't. Who knows if it does or whatever. But one of the things that he talks about is he does a weekly review. And he's like, okay, what do I need to do this week? These are big goals.
Yeah,
what are these things I didn't do last week? Why didn't they get done? Is it because I'm procrastinating? Is it because I got sidetracked because, I fell down the flight of stairs and I'm in a hospital? Or, you know what I mean? Like, who knows, whatever. But he assigns, like, this did get done. It was great. This didn't. Why didn't it get done? And I think for a lot of people, like, I don't know why a lot of my stuff doesn't get done, and I just sort of attribute it to I'm lazy. Maybe I am, or maybe it's like extraneous things, and if I constantly think I'm lazy, does that am I too down on myself and then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy? Or do I just think I'm lazy, but in reality I'm distracted by my neighbor all the time and I only think it's once, but if I wrote down every time it happened. Yeah, exactly. So I think that a lot of this stuff is fun for me to talk about, and I never actually end up doing it in practice.
Right. Yeah, I have this story about this guy who was in G-chats. That's how old the story is. Was in G-chats with his friends while he was writing code at work, and he kept thinking these G-chats are keeping me from writing and working.
It was called the work week. Or no, I looked up the wrong thing. Sorry.
What?
I was looking up the. It's like some journal that he did. Full Focus Journal. That's what it's called. Michael Hyatt of Hyatt Hotels. Now, I don't know if he inherited the hotels, because that would be a big hit to his legitimacy as a productivity guru.
Yeah. Or it's in his DNA.
Hey, true.
Wait, what was I saying? Now I don't remember. So there's a story about... Okay, so he feels like he's G-chatting all day and not getting his code written, and he took a tally of how much code he was getting written while G-chatting, and he cut himself off, and then took a tally of how much code he got written for a week when he was not, and it turned out that the G-chatting helped him code better, and he would get a little distracted and talk with his friends and come back and write more. I mean, maybe that's not a good example because people will then think distraction is great for focus, but the point is you don't know what is making you more efficient, what is making you less so.
Right.
There's all those timers online that you check in when you're working and when you're not, and and when you procrastinate, that's when you really are efficient because you don't have any more time. And when I get ahead, it's like, well, am I being as fast as possible because I got all this time?
Yeah, or did I do a terrible job? I just did it fast.
Yeah.
What is that timer that's called, like, it's 20 minutes on? Oh, it's like a work version of a Tabata.
Yikes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that thing where you're supposed to stop looking at the screen every 20 minutes.
Well, I think that's for your physical eyeballs.
Yeah, and body. But the idea of breaking focus that often...
I know, it's crazy.
Especially
if you're trying to get into a flow rate.
Yeah.
Flow state.
Which is really easy for a lot of things for me.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think the important thing with that is tracking it. Like he thought that something was hurting him. And in reality, it didn't matter. And he would have figured out if it...
Why do you think I strap on all these things and go to sleep?
Well, but who knows? Are you?
He's tracking people. That's how you know the truth is tracking. Don't listen to me.
Right. Why do you think the government tracked us with these chips in our vaccines? You know what I mean? It's just tracking is efficient from a macro standpoint.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready for the day that they can tell me that if I drink grape juice, I get 20% more video shot. Weird connections like
Ooh,
that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Pineapple juice. Apple.
Sure.
Pineapple
Whatever.
juice.
Just making connections where you don't even realize it.
Yeah, that's a really interesting.
Or if you deadlift on Monday, then Friday your piano playing is better. Ooh.
Right. Well, a lot of people, people talk about that with their workout. They get their morning workout in, and it flows with, the rest of their day feels better. Because I know I don't know if I am or not, I guess I should track it, but I feel a lot more productive and a lot more willing to get to work because I'm like, man, I already did my workout. I'm cruising right now. Now I can just crank out these stupid emails. I can write this thing. I can edit this thing, you know. I know that a lot. I know that for me, an inordinate amount of my focus and energy and ability to work really, really hard starts in the morning and then tails off really bad.
So you don't believe in the rise science stuff about...
Maybe there's waves, but I know that the biggest wave for me is right first thing in the morning, and that's
morning
a new
thing.
Yeah. Years ago, it didn't matter, and frankly, I would wait until 5 p.m. and then sit on my computer and just crank, for a solid 7-8 hours.
Wow.
But I would,
What do you think's changed with you?
I don't know. I think I imagine partly it's my living situation. I now live with a girlfriend and other people that I want to spend time with socially and not work. Whereas before I would just lock my door and sit at my computer and just work for, the whole night, and then, heat up, walk out into the kitchen, heat up something, go right back to my laptop and eat as I'm typing or whatever. So now part of my day is structured around the idea of I work in the morning and then blah blah blah, and then I eat dinner with Brittany and watch TV watch a show with her, or let's do something with her, go out. Back when we could go out, a bonding thing socially. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I feel like my current place, I have a ton of distractions with creating a video. We've had really loud neighbors, and we're on sort of a busier street than I used to live on, so it's just easier for me to get distracted, I think, or not even distracted. It's that minor thing that I can then turn into
Well, you're not getting it done today.
Can't do that
Maybe
because
tomorrow.
I got the wrong gloves on, or you know what I mean, or it's too bright.
Okay, so you do think it's external, because I was trying to arrive at, you've hit age blank and now you're no longer allowed to grind through the day because your hormones are different or something, but you really think it is just social kind
It could be. I'm definitely my workouts this year, when I've had to like completely restructure them, I know that affected me quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And once I fell into a good routine, I felt a lot better and everything sort of peeled off of that. Mm-hmm. I know that, I mean, I hate to sound like a dork, but The Rock talks about a lot how he anchors a lot of, he like picks one thing that can't move in his week, in his schedule, and it's usually a workout, and then everything like anchors off of that, and that's how he like puzzle pieces his
one week
together.
Out workout a week.
No, everything, everything anchors off of one thing. So if he works out 7 days a week at 7 a.m.
Interesting. Okay.
He'll say like Monday's workout is at 7, Tuesday's workout is at 11, Wednesday's workout is at 6, you know, whatever. But he'll take one thing like a workout, and he's like, those things are set in stone and nothing can move those things. They're that one thing, whether it's 7 days a week or whatever. And then he anchors everything off of that. He's like, okay, cool. So if I work out here, then I'll be near this thing and I can do this.
Yeah.
Or if I work out here, then I'll have the whole morning to do blah, 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 and I'll squeeze that in there. But he calls it like anchoring or whatever. But the idea is you take one sort of habit or one goal or one thing that you want to do that week and you like lock it in and nothing can move that. And then off of that, everything else sort of puzzle pieces in.
Yeah.
So I don't do that as much as religiously. I mean, I'm not The Rock, not yet. But, you know, I definitely feel that way. I feel like I have felt that idea of like, wow, I set this one thing and then I anchored things off of that, or I fit things around that, and it helped a lot.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, my workout's always the same time every day, as late as I can get it without.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't you worry that, like, do you go to bed at the same time?
If I'm on a roll with work, I will just keep going, right? And so then that means workouts later, and the eating is later, and then sleeping is later, and then waking up is later. But I'm not going to let go of that roll.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I stop, wake up the next morning, it'll be the same roll.
Yeah.
So,
or something else will happen.
Right.
Or something else
to get distracted by my neighbors or whatever. So I really lean into, if this is going and I'm working, I'll do that as long as I can get it out of my body. Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know if it's healthy because now my sleep's all over the place.
Well, I'll ask Rise.
Yeah, they don't like it.
They don't like it?
No. My aura's like, you need to be more consistent. Rise, that's all that thing is. Find your melatonin window.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've done the opposite. I think because of these sleep apps is that I'm like, man, I'm cruising right now. See, these guys are cruising.
Cruising.
But I'm like, I'm cruising right now, but it's my melatonin window.
So you cut off.
I better go to bed, and I better wake up the
You're
next day.
probably healthier than me.
Yeah, but I know that I've failed in the next morning to get it going again, productive work-wise.
You do?
It doesn't work as well.
Even if
it's not consistent, or it's not, I don't know that I can just turn it back on.
Yeah.
So that's hard. But we also do, our job is very not, it's sort of project specific, whereas somebody else can clock into work,
right.
and then maybe that will help them get rolling. And
yeah, I'm jealous of being able to turn off at 5 p.m. and not feel like you're...
Yeah, for sure.
You should be doing more because it's never enough if you're your own boss.
Although I've heard artists on both ends of that. I've heard like musical artists, for example, get into a studio and don't leave for 6 days. You know, they shower there or whatever. And then I've heard of other big time artists who get in at 9 and then they're rolling and then they leave at 6 and they're like, I got kids, I gotta go home. I'm done. And I think it's more so, it's like the opposite of what you're talking about. Like if somebody kept cranking, they would burn themselves out. Someone with a different
setting
mind
boundaries,
different whatever. Yeah. But they're able to, like, them leaving at 5 allows them to come back at 9.
Right.
Again.
Sure.
Whereas sometimes if they did a full burn, they would burn out for a couple of days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think everyone has to figure out their own way of doing it. But I'm stuck because I've tried both, and some of them kind of work.
Yeah.
Neither one works way better than the other one. So I'm in a little doozy.
Yeah. I know. I mean, and I talk crap on my morning routine, but it's still serving me. So
yeah,
that's why I'm not.
You do a lot of weird stuff. Full offense, but it works for you, and so that I think is really important. That you have to recognize if it's working or not.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people sort of either don't recognize that something's working or don't give it enough time to be effective.
Yeah, that's a big problem with workouts or diet or any sort of change. You got to commit to it for a significant amount before you realize that it's doing anything or isn't.
Right.
It's tough. But I always say commit to it longer than you want to, and then when you get there, go longer than that.
Right, which is probably a little too long.
Yeah, sure.
But you never know.
Oh. Are you gonna make any adjustments? Maybe I'll start journaling. I don't know how I'm gonna fit that in, but.
The 5-minute brain dump journal is spectacular. I find that it's way more...
I've heard of one where 5 magic minutes is what it's called, where you have to throw it out after so you can say some zany stuff about...
That's what I get worried about too, because I do it on, I type.
Mm.
And I do it on my computer. So
don't say... People are going to hack you.
That's what I'm paranoid about. I don't, sometimes I'm
thoughts, Max. I got hacked for my writing. Can you imagine? Okay, so in 5th grade, we had to do pencil drawings, and I did a life-size drawing of Audrey Hepburn from Breakfast at Tiffany's. And
Nerd!
hung it up at the art show, and somebody stole it.
Whoa.
I am so flattered.
Stop.
My art was stolen in 5th grade. It was that good that somebody wanted it off the wall. Also, what a weird 5th grader that I was like, dope!
Oh my
But the
God.
thing I worked on for an entire semester is gone. Anyway, see if you get
Who do you think
hacks
stole
for your
it?
thoughts. That would be really flattering.
That would be really extremely flattering. Who do you think stole it?
Stephanie. No.
So she sounds like a real thief.
Yeah.
5th grade, I made a tower out of blocks, like very, very. I know that sounds stupid, but it was floor to ceiling, and it was with those like math blocks that they were supposed to be for math, but we ended up using them. We built like gigantic towers, like Jenga. I made like a giant Jenga thing out of it.
Okay.
And I was so psyched because it was so tall that I had to stand on a chair on a desk. This was pretty dangerous. Probably shouldn't have done it, but on a chair on a desk, and I was putting the last piece on the very top. And I went home the next day, and I was so psyched because my dad was driving me to school the next day. I usually took the bus, but I got him to drive me so I could show him my gigantic tower, and it was gone. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? And my teacher was like, oh yeah, sorry, I knocked it over and the whole thing fell down. And I was like, what do you mean you knocked it over? What do you mean? It was floor to ceiling. How could you not see it? And she was like, I was helping this kid with his paper this morning. I was like, yeah, so what? And she was like, so I bent over because it's a child's desk and his desk is really low. She was standing, and so she bent over, and her gigantic butt knocked the entire thing down.
Oh,
and I remember thinking, like, that must be so sad for you that your gigantic butt knocked over my tower. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to be the cause of your potential eating disorder or whatever.
Wow, that's
so
really,
pissed.
really thoughtful of you.
Her
Fifth grade,
gigantic.
Max.
Her gigantic butt. It was just so.
Your hard work.
So depressing. What are you gonna do? Yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna make any. The big adjustment was going from meditation to writing.
You think it's serving you better?
I feel like it is.
It's also meditative. You technically are still meditating.
I technically am, and I know that. I know that sometimes when I was meditating, I would have a thought like, "Oh, you have to do this. Don't forget to do this." And then I would like, "Don't. You better don't." And you're not supposed to like hold on to a thought. You're supposed to like clear thoughts. But it would be such like an important like, "Don't forget. You have to do this. You're gonna forget." So what I would do is I would have a notepad next to me and I would just write down a task, and then it would allow me to do that a little bit.
Or are you serving the thing more and failing? Yeah.
So then it was really tough. But I ended up. I think the brain dump is very nice for quieting my mind. And I know that if I'm like mad about something or upset or scared or whatever, that's also a really nice little mini exercise.
It seems cool at night too.
It's very cool at night. Although sometimes it doesn't assuage those brutal feelings. That it just focuses them more.
Dreams about hating. It makes them worse.
It's just like God. I like figure out the thought. I'm like, oh yeah, and then oh my God, and then this would happen. Yeah, exactly. So it's
just exacerbating
it
instead of
sometimes
reframing
it.
Well,
but I do find it's very helpful, and I am scared that people will hack my computer or whatever, because I have some like horribly bizarre thoughts. But other times I have like a memory. I'll be like, oh, that was a really cool memory. I'll like write about that for 5 or 10 minutes, and it's nice because those are the ones I do like looking back on. Because you forget like cool things that happened, or you remember them once in a while, but then I can only assume after years and years and years they'll be gone.
Yeah, that's another reason to just journal what happened in your day, which I regret not Snapchatting as much as I used to.
I know, that was awesome. And the
non-stop.
The Spag Chat videos was really nice too.
Yeah, and I could watch a day of my week.
Yeah.
And go back and look at a narration of my existence. It's pretty crazy.
That's one thing that I do regret about not vlogging. I mean, I don't think I would ever really want to vlog daily because that's too much, but it is cool to go back and look on like the sort of mini vlogs I've done. Like I went to my friend's wedding in Mexico and I did a video about that as like a vlog-ish thing, and it's really fun. Like it's just a cool little like video memory of what happened.
And it sparks way more than what you recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was when I was looking back on the push-up contest thing where I was trying to find it and watching through all these other blogs.
Mm-hmm.
There was stuff where I was like, oh, I forgot about that. There was stuff where I was like, I did that? I mean, there's me doing it.
There appears to be me.
What? But yeah, it's pretty
That's
crazy.
cool.
I don't know. Maybe I'll start evening journaling my day, and that'll help me also pay attention to my accomplishments.
Well, but you're already sort of doing it with accomplishments.
Yeah.
In terms of, literally in terms of a to-do list, checklist.
Yeah, that's fair. Because there are times when I'll go back and say, oh, when did I do that workout, or when did I go to that event? I can see it on my dates.
Yeah.
I've looked back really closely lately to see when I had my lean gains period between my DEXA scans or no.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, food journaling. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a whole other weird one. I don't think I'm prepared to do that. I mean, you already do that with same breakfast.
Yeah. You don't need to. You dieted your entire high school career and beyond.
Yeah. One thing that was weird about when I was doing, when I started levels and I was taking pictures of the food and I was doing it like that, then suddenly you realize, like, wow, I am consistently eating terribly. You think like, oh, whatever, I did take out a couple times last week, and then you look back at your log and you're like, oh, it was every meal last week.
Yeah. And when I first started tracking, it was back when I was grazing, so, you grab a handful of M&Ms, like, that doesn't count, but when you have to write it down, it's like, oh, that was something that you ate, it's not just a couple of nothings.
Yeah.
It is writing down 3 M&Ms.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, that's also why we...
3 M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms.
Well, there's a little bit of good fats in there, or whatever. Anyway, well... I feel like we're super high performing, and maybe don't listen to the checking Twitter and Instagram when you wake up.
Yeah, I feel like we do that as part of our air quotes job. And
yeah, but if someone's paying you, just don't do it till you get into the office.
Yeah, for sure. If you have to go to the bathroom and you're working an office job, try to wait till you get to the office, because then you're getting paid to go to the bathroom.
There was an app back when I had an actual office job. I can't remember what it was called. I'm sure it was something hilarious, but you would just put in how much you made annually, and then it was just a start-stop timer. And whenever you entered the bathroom, you hit start, and then when you were done crapping, you'd hit stop, and it was just a running tally of how much money you made crapping.
I love that.
Yeah, super
That's
good.
So funny.
Super functional.
Functional crapping.
Oh, but what you should do as soon as you wake up is rate and review Total Fit Heads on Apple Podcasts, because it helps us out a whole lot and will get your day going.
Yeah. Every morning. You can only do it once, right?
Yeah,
every morning.
Every morning. Then make a new account and wait for Apple to clear you and possibly buy a new device to do it. We didn't talk about this. Do you make your bed?
I don't, because Brittany is still asleep in it. And
Oh.
she does.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, sometimes we make the bed and the dog is still there, so it's just like flat and then a lump under
Dog
the covers.
lump. It's funny. So a lot of people swear by this. They're coming for me because I'm going to say
The bed
no.
police.
Do not. I just get so mad. It's a part of the efficiency thing. I think it's a waste of time. I'm going to get stuff done. I don't need to show myself how productive I am by looking at my bed and going, wow, well, I got that done today.
Well, but if someone doesn't have a spark of energy...
Yeah, if you need that, I think it's embarrassing for you. And anybody there who's out there making their bed to try and be better at life, you're sad.
But isn't it so much better to get into a made bed than a crappy...
No, because I was busy working all day, not making my bed.
So it doesn't feel good to get in? Do you ever wash your sheets?
Why would I do that? I'm efficient. I don't even have sheets. I just lay right on the mattress.
I don't know a bed. I just stand up.
I just have a bed of devices that I lay upon.
I just get back into my...
just sleep standing.
Into my vertical coffin. I log back in like a Borg.
I wish. All right. Again, please rate, review. Helps us out a whole lot. Let us know in the comments what your morning routines are. Are you more efficient than us? Probably.
Probably.
How's your dopamine in the morning?